It's been a while. I can't even find the comment anymore, but about a week ago, somebody asked me to do a video about the Mandela effect, the butterfly effect, and deja vu. And yeah, I'd like to. I think it's a very interesting and fascinating topic. Let's start with what the Mandela effect is. A lot of people thought that Nelson Mandela had died a long time before he actually did die. And everyone shared this false belief. It was a shared false belief. So that's the Mandela effect. For example, the Berenstain Bears, not the Berenstein Bears or Berenstein Bears, Berenstain with an A. And yes, the guy was Jewish, which why it sounds so Jewish, it was, but it had an A and it was pronounced stain, Berenstain Bears. That's one example of a Mandela effect, when most people have a false memory. And then there's the butterfly effect. The butterfly effect is when the concept that one little decision, like for example, what are you gonna eat for lunch today? Are you gonna get a chicken sandwich or are you gonna get a burger? That decision could affect the rest of your own life and maybe even other people's lives based on you making that decision. And then of course there's deja vu, which deja vu is, and I've researched it. Deja vu, of course, experiencing a thought or an action that, oh, I just dreamt about this, or I've already done this before. You know, what all it really is that there's like basically like a short wire, short circuit in your brain or whatever, and your memory, your brain, your eyes, whatever, takes this experience and downloads it into your memory file instead of your actual experience. So your brain gets confused because you're experiencing it for the first time, but it's being saved in the memory file as if you experienced it from a dream or last week or a year ago. You know, that's ultimately what happens. And I think all these are fascinating. I mean, and granted, the butterfly effect is not so much in the same category as these, but this idea of the Mandela effect and deja vu, this concept that here's reality and you believe it too, we all believe it, but it's not true. And that's why I like to say often, I am Nick Shell. I assume that at least half the time I'm wrong. I'm not one of those people who in their mind thinks, well, don't you think if I were wrong, I'd know it? You know, that's very immature and emotionally unintelligent to go around thinking that. You should always assume there's a good chance you're wrong about anything you say, which is funny because in the comment section on both channels I have, Family Friendly Daddy Blog being the other one, people are constantly trying to prove me wrong. And what's funny is I don't even care. It's like, if I'm wrong, okay, I'm wrong, and I'm gonna learn something. I love the comments. You should stop claiming to be an expert and stop making videos. Be responsible. Don't talk about this stuff unless you're a professional. Nope, I'm an entertainer and that's all I claim to be. I'm not an expert. And if I'm wrong, I'll learn because I'm emotionally intelligent. And that's the thing though. In the same way we can be fooled to think that it was the Berenstain Bears or Berenstein Bears when really it was the whole time the Berenstain Bears. You know, another one is the Pikachu's tail. That Pikachu had like a black tipped tail when he didn't. He had like a brown at the bottom of the base of his tail, but it was never black at the end. That's another example of and you can Google it, you know, find out more of the Mandela effect when we have this false memory. But our minds can be so deceiving. We can make up memories by default. I've actually read a book about it called Subliminal. It's a really long, big book, and I saw all these studies about this where people believe they saw something or experienced something and they never did, even if lots of other people thought they experienced it too. So that's why I'm always questioning myself, always assuming that I could be wrong, and always assuming I need to learn something today, which if you really get into my psyche, that's one of the reasons I like making videos on two different channels, is that I'm constantly learning from people because I'm willing to be wrong. I'm willing to be vulnerable and risk being wrong. And ultimately that gamble often pays out that I am wrong. And because I'm wrong, I'll learn something and become a better person. So there's my thoughts on that. I'm glad you asked. Let's talk more about fun stuff like this. I enjoy, these are intelligent conversations to me. I like this. It's a little bit challenging. It makes us better people. It makes us think. I'm Nick Shell, and I am the living legend, and your comments belong right here.